And the fourth one, we are having that help text property. So these four properties are common as usual. Next, as part of pick list control, it is having some set of additional properties also. It is having some set of additional properties also. Now let's see what are those additional properties that we have as part of this pick list control. Now, in this case, it is having a property called as required checkbox. Required checkbox is a property which is used to indicate whether this pick list control is a mandatory field or not. That means compulsorily we have to select the country name or not to indicate that we are using this required checkbox. Required checkbox is a property which is used to indicate whether this field is a mandatory or not. Now, next one. The sixth property is values. Values property. So what is this values property? Values property is used to indicate inside my pick list control, by default it is populating the option as none. Then what all elements you want to populate here? We have to specify these elements here. In order to specify the elements, what elements you want to populate inside the pick list control, to specify these element names, we are using a property called as values. So to create this, nothing but to populate this element. These are the elements I want to populate inside my pick list control here. So these elements are nothing but values. So upon entering the inside this values property, we have to enter each and every name separately. Nothing but in a separate line, we have to enter this element names over here. Upon using this values property, it is providing a text area over here. In the text area, we have to enter each and every country name in a separate line. Don't enter the name side by side. Okay, please enter each and every country name one by one like that. Then automatically these elements will be populating inside the pick list control. Now, sometimes here, in this case, what I want to do is, what are the elements I have entered? I have entered the elements like this. Now you can raise the question, sir, I don't want to display the elements as it is. I want to arrange these elements in a sorting order. What are the elements that I have entered? I want to sort these elements in the sorting order. Like I want to display that here, like as first element here, like as some Australia, and then China, and then India, and then Japan, and then Middle East, and then UK, and then USA. That means what are the elements are available? Okay, what are the elements are available inside my values property? That means in this values property, I have entered some set of elements over here. I have entered some set of elements. These elements I am going to be arranging in a sorting order. I'm arranging these elements in a sorting order. This sorting order of elements I would like to populate inside my pick list control. So at that time, if you want to arrange the elements in the alphabetical order, then we have to use a property called as, there is a checkbox, arrange the elements in alphabetical order. Arrange the elements in alphabetical order. So in this case, in order to arrange the elements in the alphabetical order, we are going to be using this checkbox here. Next, eighth property. So now by default, it is populating this element like as none, but I don't want to show none. Then by default, what I want to do is, whatever the first element is available, like as Australia, that first element I want to display like as a default option. I want to display the default element as first element. That means here Australia will be the default element here. In this case, if you want to make that the default first element as the default one, we are using this checkbox property. Now, make the first element as the default. Make the first element as default. This is the checkbox property. So in order to make this a first element as the default one, we are using this property. Next, there is a checkbox here. Restrict the pick list values restrict the pick list values through programming. That means what? Whenever I'm going to be creating the record through programming, by using Apex programming, by using data loader, by using some third-party tools, suppose for this particular country field, if I'm passing any different name other than these elements, if I'm giving a different name, if I'm giving a different name over here, if I'm giving like a Germany, what will happen? What needs to be done? Do I need to accept this Germany, or you want me to cancel that record itself? So in this case here, we can able to use this checkbox, restrict the pick list values through programming. If this checkbox is selected, then whenever you are inserting the record inside this particular object, for this country name pick list field, we have to pass the value any one of this. If you're passing a different value, then it won't accept. Complete record will be getting cancelled. Your record will not be inserted here. So for that reason, here we are using this checkbox. Okay. These are the properties are available for pick list control. Now, the next one. Next one, pick list multi-select control. What is this pick list multi-select control? Pick list multi-select control is used to select some collection of elements. In order to select some multiple elements from the collection of elements, we are using the help of pick list multi-select control. So pick list multi-select control is used to select the multiple elements. Previously, if it is a pick list field, we are selecting only one element. But if it is a pick list multi-select, we can select multiple elements also. Not only one, we can select multiple elements as well. So for that reason, in order to select the multiple elements from this particular pick list control, we are using the help of pick list multi-select control. It's like as a list box. Okay. Now how it will look like here? Let me show you. When coming to the pick list multi-select, this will be looking like this. It will be having the elements like this over here. Now, it will be having these elements like this. This is the visibility of this particular control over here. Okay, this is the visibility of this control. So how it will be getting visible? So this is the visual appearance of this particular control over here. Now, it will be having these controls. So you will be having the elements will be available over here. This is to add the elements. This is to remove the elements. We can able to add, we can able to remove also. So now here I'm indicating this. Okay, now. So we'll be having these elements. So inside this, you will be having some set of elements. Like for example, here I'm indicating like as select your hobby. Select hobbies. I'm populating some set of hobbies like as some chess, football, tennis, cricket, movies, music, reading books. Like that, these are the elements I'm populating here. These are the hobbies. From this one, how many hobbies we can select? Multiple. Because as a person, I can have multiple hobbies also. So in this case, we can select some multiple elements also, depends upon your requirement. For that one, whatever the elements you want to select, just you can select that element over here. You can click on this add button. So automatically this element will be getting added over here. I'm selecting one more element. I'm having some interest in cricket, for example. So I'm adding this cricket also. I'm having the interest in movies and music. So I'm having these elements also. So these are the 4 elements I have selected right now. These are the 4 elements which I have selected right now. Now, so in this case, these are the 4 elements that I have selected. So in order to select the multiple elements from the collection of elements, we are using the help of pick list multi-select control. So in this case, for example, here, this is my database table. Okay, this is my database table here. In this table, I'm having so many columns are available. I'm having so many columns are available here. So then how this particular hobbies column will be storing the value? So this is my hobbies column, for example. So this is my hobbies column. This is the hobbies column. How it will be storing this information about here? Whatever the hobbies that we have selected, okay, whatever the hobbies that we have selected, all these hobbies information will be appending. It is going to be appending by using a separator called as semicolon. Whatever the hobbies information is available, these hobbies information, it is going to be keep on appending over here. It will be keep on appending here. Okay, it will be having a semicolon, and here also a semicolon. Here also a semicolon. It will be appending these elements here. How it is appending like this here? Chess, semicolon. It will be having cricket, and then it will be having movies, and it will be having music. All these elements will be getting appended by using that separator called as semicolon, and then this entire information will be treating like as a single string, and then this will be storing inside this column. This is the internal implementation of pick list multi-select control. It's a common question in every interview. It's a common question in the admin certification 201 also. Whenever I'm using this multi-select pick list control, if I'm selecting some multiple element, then how it will be storing inside the data column. So whatever the elements that I've selected, those elements are going to be appending with the help of a separator called a semicolon, and then it is going to storing this entire string inside our database column. Now, this is the internal implementation of pick list multi-select control. Now, then how can we use this pick list multi-select control? What are the various properties are available? Now, let's see practically in this case. Now, so when coming to the pick list control, now, so this control allows us to select multiple elements from the collection of elements. Okay, multiple elements from the collection of elements. So now here in this case, I'm giving the notepad. Upon storing the elements, it will concatenate the selected elements by using a separator called as semicolon, and will store the entire string inside the field, and to store the entire string inside the field. Okay, this is the internal implementation. This is the internal implementation of pick list multi-select control. Now, so in the interview point of view, they will raise a question. So whenever I'm selecting the multiple elements by using pick list multi-select control, then how these elements will be storing inside the database column. Upon selecting these elements, what were the columns that we have selected, what are the elements we have selected, these elements are going to be concatenating, nothing but appending one by one. It is appending these elements by using a separator called a semicolon. This entire information will be treating like as a single string. That value will be storing inside the column. Okay, this is the internal implementation of pick list multi-select control. And then, as part of these properties, the first 4 properties are common. Next property is values property. Values property is used to indicate what values you want to populate inside this pick list control. In this control, what values you would like to populate over here. So we can able to specify that. And then the sixth one is we have a checkbox. What is that? Arrange the elements in alphabetical order. Whatever the elements we have entered, please don't add the elements in the same order. Please arrange the elements in the alphabetical order, and then that alphabetical order of elements you can able to populate inside this control. And the next one is there is a property called as number of elements visible. Number of elements visible. Here we have to indicate the integer. That means what? Here I'm populating some 100 elements. You want me to display all the 100 elements at a time? No, don't display all the 100 elements at a time. Please display only some 6 elements here or 5 elements. The remaining elements, how can we see? Remaining elements we can able to see with the help of scroll bar. Remaining elements we can see with the help of a scroll bar. So here you will be having the scroll bar will be available over here. With the help of this scroll bar, we can see the remaining elements also inside this. So whatever the remaining elements are available, those remaining elements I want to display, okay, we can display by using this scroll bar. With the help of this scroll bar, they can able to select the remaining elements over here. So in this case, how many number of elements you want to display at a time? 5 elements, 4 elements, or 10 elements, or what? We can specify that also. That facility is available as part of this pick list control. These are the various properties are available as part of pick list multi-select control. Next, the text encrypted. So what is this text encrypted field? Text encrypted. Encrypting means what? Converting the content into another format. Okay, converting the content into another format here. I would like to convert this content into another format so that we can protect the data. Like for example here, assume that I'm using a login screen. Whenever I'm going to be entering some data inside my text box, there is a text box is available in my login screen where I'm entering some password. Okay, I'm entering some password here. Whenever you are entering the password, how the password will look like? The password will look like as the actual content? No, it will be displaying like as stars. Because what? Password is a sensitive information, secured information, confidential information. I don't want to disclose the password to anybody else. I want to make it secured. I want to make it protected from the unauthorized people here. So for that reason, I want to display all the elements in the encrypted format so that other people can't see, other people can't misutilize my information. Suppose when you go to some bank ATM, whatever the PIN number that we are entering, that will be visible like this. PIN number will be getting visible like this. Because PIN number is also one of the sensitive information. When you go to some bank account, when you go to some bank ATM center to withdraw some money, once the money has been getting withdrawal, okay, inside your transaction slip, the account number will be visible like this. It will be visible like this. That means here it is indicating that, dear customer, your account number ending with 1234. Complete account number will not be printed on your transaction slip. Only the last 4 digits will be getting printed. Why? To protect the data from the unauthorized people. Suppose if the complete account number has been printed, then if you are not using the transaction slip, if you are placing that one into the dustbin, then if any other hacker people has collected that transaction slip in the dustbin, they may misutilize your information also. For that reason, to protect the information from the unauthorized people, it is going to be indicating that in the encrypted format here. So when you go to that, your credit card number also, it will be indicating like this. And then it will be indicating the credit card number also getting visible like as first 12 digits will be in the masking format, last 4 digits will be getting visible in the actual content here. So like that, here some data is there which I would like to keep and protect from the unauthorized people by encrypting the data into another format. So that here, if you want to use these kind of formats, then we have to use a control called as text encrypted. Text encrypted data type, the field type is used to indicate, please don't display the content in the actual format. Please convert this content into the another format. Please encrypt this information into another format by using, that any one of the encryption algorithm. And then the encrypted data will be storing inside the database so that other people can't misutilize. So for that reason here, whenever if you want to store some sensitive data, then we are using the help of that text encrypted. Okay, now, so as part of this text encrypted, what are the various properties are available? Now let's see. Now, the properties. The first 4 properties are common as usual. First 4 properties are common as usual. And the next property is, you will be having a property called as required checkbox to make that field mandatory. And the sixth property is masked type. Masked type property. In this case here, we have to indicate. So you want me to mask all the characters. Nothing but masking means what? Converting into another character in the format here. In this case, what happened? When you go to the password, all the characters has been in the masking format. When you go to the bank account number, the first 8 digits will be in the masking format, and the remaining 4 will be visible as it is. When you go to the credit card, the first 12 digits will be in the masking format, remaining 4 will be getting visible as it is. Like that here, we can select that what kind of masking format you want, either password, either bank account number, or the credit card number, US insurance policy number, social security number, or what. So it depends upon the option which we have selected, it is going to be masking that content over here. So for that one, we have to indicate masked type. Masked type, we can specify either password, we can use the credit card number, or the bank account number, and the US insurance policy number, and then social security number. Like that, these are the options will be giving by Salesforce by default here. Now, and the 7th property is masked character. Masked character. Which character you would like to use? It is giving the 2 options, either star or it will be giving like as into. Any one of this, whatever you want here. You want to display this content in the form of star or in the form of cross symbol here. Because when you go to the bank account number, it is using the cross symbols, not star. When you go to the password, it is indicating like as the star. So at that time, which character you want me to use to mask the content? You want to use either these characters or these characters here, so that we can indicate any one of these here. These are the properties are available as part of text encrypted control. Next. The next one is auto number. So what is this auto number field? Auto number field is used to generate that field value automatically. Okay, generate that field value as automatically. That means what? Okay, that means what? When coming to that Excel sheet, for example, when you go to Excel sheet, it will be giving some serial number to you. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, like it is giving some serial number to you. Like the similar way, whenever I'm creating some record inside the table, for every record, please generate an auto number. Please generate a number for my internal reference. For my internal reference, please generate a auto number here. I don't want to enter that value. I won't enter the value. Please generate this value based on some specific format. I will give you the format over here. Like for example, come to a scenario. Assume that I'm storing some customer records. For each and every customer, I want to allocate the customer code. My requirement is customer code should be look like this: CID-1000001. The first customer code will be CID. CID means customer ID. Okay, CID means customer ID. So customer ID, that is 100001. For the second customer, ID should be like a CID 100002. For the third customer, ID should be CID 100003. Like that, here it has to generate that automatic number here for each and every customer record. In this case, whenever if you want to make that values has to be auto-generated for your column, then we have to use a data type called as auto number. You can indicate this a format. Sometimes you can raise a question, sir, I don't want CID, I want simply C. You can indicate what format you want, you can indicate that. Depends upon your requirement. That facility is available. So auto number column is used to indicate to the Salesforce, don't allow the value from user side. Please generate this value automatically. That means Salesforce system will be generating the value for this column. We no need to enter the value. That value will be automatically generating by Salesforce. So that this is called as auto number. So whatever the value generating by Salesforce, this value will be purely generating based on the format. We can indicate in which format you want to generate this number value. That means in which format you want me to generate that auto number sequence, we can indicate this format here. For that reason, we are using the data type called as auto number. Once the value has been generated by Salesforce, we can't modify that value, that is fixed. Whatever the auto number columns are available, that auto number column value we can't modify, we can't edit. Even though you are an administrator also, you can't modify that because that is purely read-only value. That is purely read-only value. Just you can see that value, but we can't edit that value here. Now, in this case here, so that here, when coming to this auto number column value will be generating by Salesforce. That's what this is called as system generated fields. Okay, this is called as system generated field. System generated means what? For this column, value will be generating by Salesforce. We are not entering that value. That value will be generating by Salesforce itself. That value will be generating by the Salesforce system itself. So for that one, we are going to be referencing that field as a system generated field. So auto number is nothing but a read-only system generated field. Read-only. Why I'm indicating that? That already told you this field value, this column values can't be editable by the users. User can't modify this value. Okay, user can't modify this value. That value has to be generated by Salesforce here. That value should be generated by Salesforce, so we can't modify that value by our own. So now here in this case, whenever if you want to make a column value as auto generated, then we have to use a data type called as auto number. Okay, now this column or this data type makes a column value to be get generated by the Salesforce system. By the Salesforce system itself based on the specified format. Based on the specified format. So based on the specified format, we can able to make this column value to be get auto generated. Now, in this case, it is a read-only system generated field. System generated field which can't be editable. Which can't be editable. That means this field value can't be editable. We can't modify this field value. This field can't be editable. So this field value can't be editable. We can't modify that field value. That will be fixed. That value will be generating by Salesforce itself. So we can't modify that value. Now, in this case, in the entry point of view, they will raise a question. It's a common question in every interview. It's a common question in our admin certification 201. So can you list out the various system generated fields in Salesforce. List out the system generated fields in Salesforce. List out the system generated fields in Salesforce. What are the various system generated fields are available in Salesforce? Then please list out this. In this case here, it's a common question in every admin certification. Now, so this is one thing, auto number. Now tell me a few more. You know that. For which field value will be generating by Salesforce in a record? You know that.
ID owner.
Okay. Owner value we can modify. Owner we can change. Two more.
Created by?
Yes, right. Created by. One more.
Last modified by.
Right. Last modified by. And along with that, we have two more. First one is formula, and the next one is roll-up summary fields. These are the various system generated fields are available in Salesforce. These field values will be generating by Salesforce system itself. We no need to enter this value. That value we can't edit. These are the system generated fields are available. We have auto number field, we have ID field, and the created by, last modified by, formula, roll-up summary. These are the various system generated fields are available in Salesforce. They will give you the question in the entry point of view. From the below 4 options, one option is not a system generated field. Okay, from the below 4 options, one option is not a system generated field. Please find out. So they will give the 4 options. From that one, 3 are correct answers, 1 will be the wrong answer. We have to find out that. They will give the questions like this. Okay, please find out the wrong answer. That means please find out, okay, the non-system generated field inside the below 4 elements. Okay, now, so in this case, as part of this auto number, what are the various properties are available? As usual, first 4 properties are common. First 4 properties are common. And the next property. The 5th property is display format. Display format property. In this display format property, we have to indicate a format, in which format you want me to generate. Suppose if you want to generate that customer IDs, then we can specify like a C hyphen. How much what is that digit you want to specify? I want to generate a 6-digit number. So simply we can specify the flower braces, specify the 6 zeros. This is the format I want. My customer ID should be start with the C hyphen, and then it should be having a 6-digit number over here. Sometimes I want to generate my branch IDs here. Okay, my branch IDs. My branch IDs will be like some IN. Okay, IN. It should be having a 6-digit number here or 5-digit number. A 5-digit number. I want to specify. Okay, I want to specify my product codes. For that one, product code should be PID hyphen. It should be having a 4-digit number. Okay, this is the format we can specify here. Okay, so display format, nothing but in which format you want me to generate the auto number here. Next, 6th property. 6th property is starting number. That means what? From which number you want me to start generate this sequence. That means for the first customer record, what is the ID you want me to generate here? C hyphen. After that, what is the number? From which number you want me to start generate here? So I want to indicate here. Okay, I want to indicate like as 100001. So first customer ID will be C hyphen 100001. Second customer ID is 100002. Third customer ID 100003. Like that, keep on it is increasing the sequence here, one by one. Suppose upon creating this branch IDs, so branch records, it will be indicating IN, it will be indicating that 5-digit number, like as here 100 or 50001. This is the first branch ID. Second branch ID, India 50002. Third IN 50003, like that. My product code, first product code is PID hyphen like some 2001. Second product code is PID hyphen 2002. Like that, here we can indicate the starting number here. Depends upon that starting number, it is generating that sequence over here. So for example, we can indicate 100001. Here we can indicate, okay, 50001. Here we can indicate, okay, 2001. Like that, we can indicate that number. Based on that, it is start generating the sequence. So whenever you are creating a new record, automatically this auto number value will be generated by Salesforce. Now, suppose for example, today I am creating this auto number card, but the table is already created sometime before. So many records are there. From now onwards, whenever I'm creating a new record, for that record it is generating this auto number. Then what about the existing records here? You want the auto number for the existing records also? Then we have to select one checkbox called as generate auto number for existing records. Generate auto number for existing records. Generate auto number for existing records. So this is a checkbox over here. These are the various properties are available as part of your auto number. Next. The last one, geolocation. So what is this geolocation data type? What it represents over here? Now, so geolocation. Geolocation means what? In order to identify a particular location, we are using the two values. What are those? Latitude, longitude. So in order to identify a particular location, okay, in the geographical area at any country, in any location, to identify a particular location, we are using the two codes. Those are called as latitude and the longitude. So in order to store that latitude and longitude value, we are using this geolocation data type. Geo means what? Geographical location. So in this case, this data type allows us to store the latitude and longitude values of the specified location. In order to store the latitude value and the longitude value of the specified location, we are using this geolocation data type here. Now, the properties. When coming to the properties, first four properties are common, and the fifth property is required checkbox. Required checkbox to make that field required. These are the various properties are available as part of geolocation data type. These are the various data types are available inside your Salesforce instance. So whenever you are creating a field inside the object, we have to select any one of this data type. So whenever you are creating a field inside the object, we have to select any one of this data type. So these are the various data types and the properties are available. Properties are very, very important. Generally, nobody will concentrate on all these things. Simply directly, they will show you how to create the field. But we should be aware of each and every property. Because whenever the client is giving the requirement, we should be able to understand whether this particular property is available or not. If you know that directly, we can inform to the client. So this property is there, we can do that. Or else we have to go with development. For that reason, what options are available, we should be aware of first. Based on that, we can decide whether we can go with admin part or whether we can go with development part. Now, in this case here, as of now, we know how to use the various data types in order to create a field. Now, let's see how to create the fields inside your Salesforce instance. Okay, how to create the fields. Now, let's see practically in this case. Now, let's see creating the fields. creating custom fields. Creating the custom fields. So how to create the custom fields? Whenever we are creating the custom fields, we have two ways are available. Okay, we have two ways to create the custom fields. First one, by using standard navigation. First one, by using standard navigation. Second one, we have one more way, that is by using post.com quick access menu. Post.com quick access menu. This is only for the navigation part basically. But just we can remove this option also, no problem. Second one, by using schema builder. Second one, by using schema builder. So now whenever we are going to be creating the field, we have two ways are available. First one is we are having this standard navigation. Second one, we can use this schema builder. With the help of that standard navigation also, we can create that fields. And then with the help of this schema builder also, we can create that field. Okay, these are the two ways are there. We'll see the standard navigation today. Schema builder concept we'll see later, because this is a separate tool. We'll see that concept as well. Now, how to create the custom fields? Now let's see. For example, in the previous sessions, we have created one object called as customer. We have created an object called as customer object. When you click on new button, it is going to store displaying only the customer name. That means only we are entering customer name. But my client said that not only creating the customer record with only the name, I want to store some more details of the customer also. Like I want to create the customer name. Upon creating the customer record, I want to capture the customer name. I want to capture the customer email ID. I want to collect the designation of the customer. I want to collect the location of the customer, to which location he is associated. I want to collect the phone number of the customer also. These are the fields I would like to add. So here it is going to be indicating only customer name is visible, but I want some more columns also. How can we do that? Now let's see. As part of my customer object. So what kind of fields we need? We need that customer code. I want the customer code. Here I will be listing out the fields, then tell me what is the data type is suitable in this case here. I want the customer code field. That customer code will be starting with the CID, okay, hyphen, okay, 400001. This is my requirement. Next one, customer name field I want. But this is the column I want here, customer name. But this is the standard column, so we no need to create here. This is the standard field given by Salesforce. I want to store the customer age. What is the age of this customer? So age should be like as a number. Okay, I want that number over here. I want to enter some customer age like as a number value. Next, I want to store the email ID of the customer. I want to store the contact number of the customer. I want to store the designation of the customer. That means what is the designation? And I want to capture the location. That means to which city he is associated. Okay, to which city he is associated. I want to populate all these options here. Now tell me, for this customer age, what is the suitable data type here?
Number.
Number, okay, right. Number of how many digits you would like to allow? Maximum I want to allow 2. 3 in the sense up to 999. Okay. 2 in the sense up to 99. Okay. Because nowadays, because of the current situation, because of the current food habits of the people, if you are living up to 60, then that is highlight. Okay, stop. Okay, if you are living up to 60, then that is stop. But the previously, okay, we have so many old people are available in our families who are having 100 years or more than 100 years also, because at that time the food habits are completely different, completely hygienic food. But now we are having some junk food every day. So because of that food habits, because of the pollution, because of the current environment, the people may live up to maximum 60 years. top. Now, so I'm giving up to the 99 over here. Next, email ID. I want to make this field as mandatory here. That is my requirement.
Required checkbox.
Then,
Mail.
what is the data type for this one?
Email. Mail.
Email data type, right? Next, contact number.
Phone
I want to
number.
make it as a mandatory.
Phone number. Phone. Required
Okay.
checkbox.
Phone data type. I want the designation.
Text.
Text.
Or you can.
I'm using this text data type up to maximum of some 100 characters. Location.
Geolocation.
No.
For location,
Location the sense some city. Some city value. Okay, like as Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. Then what we can do?
Pick list. You can use.
Okay. Pick list.
Sir, in that location, don't you have to add the country also, or just the city?
You can add that simplicity. That is sufficient. Okay. Simply, I would like to add the city name here, to which city he is associated over here. Okay. For that one, I'm indicating. So now the location will be, okay, the pick list type. So the user can able to select only one. That means only one city name to which he is associated. These are the columns I want inside my customer object. Then how to create these columns? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, how to create the column inside the table? Now let's see. So now customer name column is given by Salesforce. Okay, fine. Because that is a standard field given by Salesforce, that is name column. So we no need to create that. Next one, customer age. How to create this age column over here? Now let's see. Go to the customers tab, because I want to create that column inside the customer object. Go to this customers tab and click on it. Expand the force.com quick access menu. Okay, expand the force.com quick access menu. Click on the option, okay, view fields. Okay, view fields. Click on the option view fields. So it is providing the fields list. Okay, it is providing the fields list. These are the standard fields are available inside my customer object. These are the custom fields. So do we have any custom fields over here? No. We haven't created anything as of now because we don't know how to create the fields. Just now we are learning how to create the fields inside my object. So I want to create a custom field. How can we create? So that we will be having an option called as new button. Click on this new button to create a custom field. So click on new button. When you click on new button, it is asking you to select the data type. What data type you want to use? Here it is indicating the data types over here. Like as auto number, formula, roll up summary, lookup relationship, master detail relationship, external lookup relationship. These are the relationship data type fields here. We'll see during the relationship concept over there. Next one, checkbox, currency, we know, date, we know, date time, email, geolocation, number, percent, phone, pick list multi-select, text area long, text area rich, text encrypted, time, URL. Every data type I have covered. So each and every data type and their functionalities and their properties, that. So now tell me, for this field customer age, what is the data type we need to select now? We have to select number data type. So select the data type as number. Here we are having number data type. Select this number data type. Click on next button. Okay, click on next button. Click on next button. Now it is asking you to specify the field label. These are the properties. Field label. What is the field label? I would like to indicate customer age. Customer age. You can specify the field label. Field name will be preparing the Salesforce automatically. We no need to enter that. So now this is of data type what? Number. Number is allowing how many digits over here? 18-digit number. It will allow maximum. How many you want? Maximum 2. So simply we can specify 2 digits here. Description property, I don't want to enter anything. Help text, I don't want here. So what is my requirement? Do you want me to make this column as mandatory over here? No, nothing. So we no need to select this required checkbox, unique checkbox, nothing. Okay. So now here we have to specify the field label. So specify the length. That means how many number of digits to be get allowed. So how many decimal digits you want to allow over here? I don't want to give any decimal digits, and then specify that field name. It will be preparing by automatically by Salesforce. Now click on next button. Make the field to be get visible to all the profile users by selecting the visible checkbox. Select the checkbox visible to make this field to be visible to all the profile users. Click on next. Click on save. Now a field has been created. Nothing but column has been added inside your table. When you verify this, it is creating a new column with the name customer underscore age underscore underscore C. Because between customer and the age, I have given some space. That space is filling up by underscore symbol by Salesforce here automatically. It is indicating here this field name is postfixing with underscore underscore C. Underscore underscore C means what? It is custom. Okay, this is a custom field. If it is a standard field, okay, we can able to edit this. If it is a custom field, we can able to edit, we can able to delete also. That facility is available. We have created the field. Now, what will happen? Whenever I'm adding the field, user interface also will be preparing by Salesforce. Just refresh this user interface. Now, what happened in this case? User interface also has been prepared by Salesforce. Have we done anything here? No. Just we have added the column by using that mouse pointers. So whenever I'm adding that field, automatically this visual appearance also has been prepared by Salesforce here. Customer age text box also has been added automatically. Okay, this is the internal functionality of Salesforce. Now, next one. What is the next one you would like to add? Customer email ID, nothing but email ID. So let's go to that custom fields and relationships section. Click on new button to create one more new field. What is the data type you would like to use for the email ID field? I would like to use the data type as email. Now, so in this case here, we have to select the data type. What is the data type you would like to use? Email. So select the data type as email. Now, click on next button. Specify the field label. What is that name here? What is the field label I'm indicating like as email ID? Okay. Now, when coming to my email ID, I want to make this a field as mandatory field, nothing but required field. So that here you can able to select the checkbox required. Okay, required checkbox, I'm selecting this. Click on next button. So now we no need to select the visible checkbox because automatically it is making it as mandatory because I have selected the required checkbox over there. And then click on next button. Make it save. I want to create one more here. Let's see. When you go to the user interface, refresh this user interface, it is indicating email ID text box automatically. That means we are adding the field. So column will be adding by Salesforce automatically, and then user interface also will be preparing by Salesforce automatically by default. This is the internal implementation. Next. The next one here. What is the next field you would like to add? Contact number. Contact number will be of type what? Phone. I'm indicating this. Go to the custom fields and relationships section. Click on new button. Contact number will be of type what? Phone. So select the data type as phone. Click on next button. Specify the field label that is called as contact number. I want to make this a field as a mandatory field over here. I want to give some online help. Here I'm indicating the online help text here. Please enter the customer phone number. I will show you how this help text will be visible to you. Now I want to make this contact number as mandatory here. So click on next. Make the field to be visible to all the profile user. Click on next. Click on save. One more column we have added. What is that column name here? Okay, contact underscore number underscore underscore C. This is the column. When you go to the user interface, refresh this user interface, it is adding that contact number column also. Here it is indicating help text, nothing but online help. When you place the mouse pointer, it is indicating that. So please enter customer contact phone number. Next one. So what is the next field I would like to add? Okay, designation. Designation will be of type text. Click on new button to create a new field, which is of type text. Click on next. Specify the field label. I'm indicating like as customer designation. Designation. How many characters you want to allow over the length? I want to indicate like as 100 characters. I don't want to allow more than 100 characters. Designation will be maximum of 100 characters. Click on next. Make it visible to all the profile users by selecting the visible checkbox. Click on next. Make it save. So I have created that designation field. Refresh your user interface. We can see the field customer designation. Next one, I want what location. Now, so go to that custom fields and relationships section. Click on new button. Select the data type. What is the data type you would like to use? Pick list. So I'm selecting like as pick list here. Click on next. Specify the properties. I'm indicating the field label as okay location. Location name or the city name. Specify the values property. So in this case, select the second option, second radio button. Enter the values. Select the second radio button is indicating enter the values. Here we can enter the city names. Like for example, I'm indicating like some Hyderabad. Each and every element we have to enter in separate line. Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, Mumbai, Noida, Delhi, Kochi. These are the fields here. Okay, these are the options which I would like to add. Now, in this case, what are the options that I have entered? I have entered these elements in the jumbling order. So I want to inform to the Salesforce, please don't display these elements in the same order. Please arrange in alphabetical order. So I'm selecting this checkbox, display values alphabetically. Select this checkbox to make these elements to be visible in alphabetical order. Okay. Now you want me to make this field mandatory? No, I am not making it as mandatory. So required option, I'm not selecting it. Click on next button. Make the field to be get visible to all the profile users by selecting visible checkbox. Click on next and make it save. So now my field has been created successfully over here. When you go to the user interface, refresh the user interface. Now it is indicating that location name field has been prepared, which is a pick list, and then by default it is populating none. When you expand this, we can see all the elements in the sorting order over here. Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, these elements are visible in sorting order. So whenever I'm going to be creating the field through user interface, Salesforce is adding the column in the table. It is preparing this user interface also automatically. It is preparing the business logic also automatically by default. Okay, it is preparing business logic also automatically by default. Now, so now here in this case, I want to create a new customer record. How can we create? Just take and enter the data here. I'm creating the customer record like as with the name Archana Sharma. Archana Sharma. So now customer age is like as some 32. Email ID archana@gmail.com. Contact number I'm giving some value. Designation like as some sales manager. Location some Hyderabad. Okay, I'm entering the data. Click on save button. Record will be saving automatically by default. So that means what business logic also has been prepared. See in this case here. So whenever I'm adding the field, automatically column will be adding to the table. It is preparing the user interface also. It is preparing the business logic also internally by default here. So now click on this customers again. If you want to create one more customer record, click on new button, enter the customer. I'm indicating that like as okay, Rahul. Okay. So now Rahul Kumar. Age like as some 41. Email ID rahul@gmail.com. Contact number I'm giving some value. Designation, I'm indicating like as a software engineer. Location, some Bangalore. Now click on save button. We can able to save the record here. Record has been saved successfully. That means business logic also has been given by Salesforce by default. So that here it is preparing all the 3 layers of your application. It is adding that column to the table. It is preparing the user interface also. It is preparing the business logic also by default over here. Suppose if you want to show the customer details over here. Upon click on this tab, I want to show the customer details over here. How can we do that? How to customize the recent records section? Just you can expand this post-platform quick access menu. Click on edit columns. Click on edit columns. We can see the columns information. We can able to arrange what columns to be visible over here. Like I want to show. Okay, I want to show the customer name. I want to show the customer age and the contact number and the email ID and the location name and the designation. Okay, these are the columns I want to make it visible. Now click on save and we can able to see this. This functionality already you know that here. So we can see that customer name, age, contact number, email ID, location and the customer designation. This is how we are going to be creating the fields inside your object. Okay, we can create 1 or more number of fields. How many fields we have added? Almost some 6 to 7. How many fields we can add inside an object? Up to 500 custom fields we can add per an object. Per table we can add maximum of 500 custom fields. So this is the way we can able to add the fields inside your object. So whenever you are creating the field inside the object, Salesforce is going to be preparing the column inside the table. It is preparing the user interface. It is preparing the business logic also by default here. Okay. So this is the concept of fields creation inside your Salesforce instance. Okay. And in the tomorrow session, we are going to discuss about a concept called as validation rules. I'm going to discuss about validation rules, how to validate the data here. Okay, how to validate the data. How can we validate this information? We'll see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we are having the session evening at 6 to 8 o'clock, 2-hour session. Tomorrow evening we are having 2-hour session so that we can able to discuss about that validation rules concept over there. And if everybody is working on Sunday, Sunday also will take up the session. Shall we have the session on Sunday?
Yes.
No, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Because in the yesterday session itself, so many people are okay for that Sunday session. So we'll have the session on this Sunday also.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Sunday also at same timings, 6 to 8. We'll be having that a new concept over there. We'll see.
My request is,
Sir, I have one doubt. Like while creating this designation, we gave text length 100, right? So
Yes, right.
initially, if I give lesser length and if I want to edit it, I can go back and edit it.
Yes, right. Let me show you. Suppose here I have given that length as some 100 characters. But sometimes I want to change it to like as some 150 characters. My client asked me to change the extend this number of characters to 150. So simply we can go to that field here. Click on customers tab because that is a customer object field, right? So go to that here, fields. Expand the first platform quick access menu, view fields. Go to that field. Which field you want to edit? Customer designation. What is that data type? Text of 100 characters. I want to extend it. Simply click on edit button. Click on this edit link. It will be displaying the field in the editable format to you. Then change that length over here. Here we have given that length as some 100. Suppose if you want to extend to 200, then you can give 200 here. Okay. Click on save. So from now onwards, it will be allowing us to enter maximum of 200 characters of length over here. Okay, customer designation will be 200 characters. This is how we can able to create the field. We can edit that field properties also at any point of time.
For everything, right?
Hello, sir.
We can edit anything,
Yes,
right?
everything. Yes, edit anything over here. Data type also we can change. That possibility is available.
Sir, can you please
Hello,
fill
sir.